Welcome back, everybody. My name is Tom Olsen. The name of the show is Olsen on Law, every Saturday at 11 a.m. right here on News 96.5. I'd like to introduce you to attorney Michelle Berry. She specializes in family law, including divorce, alimony, child support, and time sharing. Hey, Michelle, thanks for being on the show today.
Thanks for having me, Tom.
Hey, Michelle, I got an email a couple weeks ago from a lady who got divorced 4 years ago. Her circumstances have changed, and she wants to know what she needs to do to change the amount of child support that's being paid to her. What would be your recommendation to her?
Well, the funny thing about child support is there's actually four moving parts to it. The mother's income, the father's income, we call them husband and wife, and then also how many times the child is overnight at mom's versus how many times the child is overnight at dad's. So if any of those four moving parts have changed, then if it results in what would be a $50 a month decrease or increase in child support, the child support would need to be recalculated. And it would take quite a significant amount of overnights to change it, because just a few overnights wouldn't make much of a difference in the bottom line. And that is why the courts require that there has to be at least a $50 a month difference in the actual child support amount resulting from the circumstantial change.
Hey, Michelle, I know that the Florida statutes have a formula for how much child support is paid based on the income of the mother and the father. Does the Florida statutes now lay out how many days they are with mom or with dad as far as changing the amount of the initial number that gets spit out?
It definitely can be influenced by, for instance, how often a child is with mom. In other words, if the time sharing is significantly higher for one parent, where the other parent only gets, for instance, 20% of the time, then there would be a statutory break in the child support amount, but it wouldn't be a whole lot. Now, if it were equal time sharing, then there would be a lessening of the child support amount, because in a perfect world, if both parents were making the same exact amount of money and the child was at the parent's house the equal amount of time, then you would have basically no child support being paid. But the children's fortunes rise and fall with those of the parents. So if, for instance, one of the parents won the lottery after the divorce, that would be a happy occasion to go back and recompute child support.
So what I'm trying to ask is that if the child is with a mom or dad 50%, 40%, 30% of the time, how is the court determining how to adjust the amount of child support that's being paid? Is that laid out in a statutory formula, or is that just purely subjected by the court?
Well, yeah, we'd like to think it's subjected by the court, but actually there is a statutory formula, and it used to be that there had to be a 40% threshold that the paying parent would have to meet in order to get a break on the amount of child support. Okay. And the logic behind that is simply that if the child is spending that much time with the paying parent, then the paying parent should get a break on the amount that is being paid. But now that step-off has been reduced to 20%, because it is computed that if you're going to have your child at least 20% of the time, then you're going to have a separate room for that child. They're going to have basically a replication of what they have at the other parent's house. So that would make it a bit easier on the paying parent to be able to say, okay, now I can pay a little less child support because I do have the child 20% of the time. And that formula is considered within the statutory computation.
All right, so if dad is paying child support, once his the days with dad rise to 20% or more of days during a year, his child support begins to decrease.
Exactly. It's configured to allow for the fact that you've got expenses of your own when you have the child with you. And the only time child support is really drastically higher is if it is mom has the child or one of the parents has the child at least 80% of the time, if not more, then the other person is going to be paying full child support per statute.
All right, Michelle, tell the listeners how they can reach you here in Orlando.
You can reach me at my Longwood office in Seminole County at 407-622-4529 is my phone number. Best way to find me is on my website at www.mbarrylaw.com, and my email address is michelle@mbarrylaw.com. And I look forward to hearing from you.
All right, Michelle, thank you so much. That's attorney Michelle Berry. She's a family law divorce attorney right here in Orlando. And again, you can reach her at her office during the week at 407-622-4529. Hey, folks, my name is Tom Olsen. The name of the show is Olsen on Law, every Saturday at 11. By the way, Olsen on Law now 32 years in Orlando Marketplace and many more years to go. We appreciate you listening. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in just a few minutes.